Hello, and welcome to the player-parent meeting for the 2021 football season. My name is Coach Blake Arnett. I'm the head football coach. Just going to walk you guys through some of the more important details before our summer begins and we start our season in August. So our coaching staff is made up of currently 5. We are looking to hire our 6th or an additional assistant coach here in the near future. But you can see our current staff on here have a wide variety of coaches represented, sports represented, basketball, baseball, and obviously football here. If you need anything, my contact information is there. All of our current coaches are located at the high school, so we'll be able to work with our athletes year round and see them in the halls and most likely have them in class at some point throughout their high school career. All right, so getting into kind of the detail stuff for this year, kind of a checklist of things to do prior to the season beginning. The first thing is make sure you're following us on our social media accounts. We are on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. The handles are there. I will make sure I'll share this presentation with you. You should be able to click on those links and I'll take you directly to our accounts. So you're able to follow us there and see updates, things that our guys are doing, in practice or in strength and conditioning, just kind of all the fun stuff that we get to share out about our team, about our guys. From there, during the season, I send out weekly emails, updates for schedules, any kind of important information that's going to be going on that week, because we obviously get a lot of emails and a lot of things that are going on each and every day. So I don't want to overwhelm you, every single day sending out an email. So I just try to send that out on Monday, so you know things that are coming that week, so you can keep an eye out for it or refresh yourself on what's going on. Also, our district activities calendar link is there. If you're new to the high school or new to the district, that is a fantastic resource that's updated kind of live. So you can see, bus times, things like that are going to update you or be updated as the schedule change or is changed throughout the season. Big thing that is mandatory for our students to be eligible on day one. It's going to be physical and healthy roster profile information needs to be completed at the very latest 8-9. I say at the very latest because that's our first day. Really like to get this taken care of early in the summer so you don't have to worry about it. Obviously, with COVID precautions, doctors' offices and things are a little bit harder to get into. So scheduling these things early in the summer is going to be beneficial. If you need to know about when your current physical expires, we can talk to Olivia Robinson or Tracy Heitman, and they should be able to get that information for you. Then, obviously, once you get your physical, filling out all the information, all the paperwork on healthy roster is mandatory as well. Next thing is kind of the mandatory gear that your athlete's going to need is cleats. Cleats can be black, white, silver, or gray, or green. Any school color is acceptable. This is kind of a change from the past. So older guys or parents with, freshmen and up or going to be sophomores and up, athletes can get some different colors that they may not have been able to get last year or the year before. From there, undershirts, our athletes are going to need to wear a shirt underneath their pads or most like to. We just ask that those undershirts be school colors. They don't have to be anything special. They can be a cotton t-shirt, whatever the athlete's comfortable in, but just make sure that those are, once again, school colors. Most wear either black or white. I do have our team shop ready to go. That link there is live. It's going to have some gear that is going to fit our cleats and undershirt requirements. There's also some additional stuff. None of that is mandatory. None of that is a fundraiser or anything like that. It's just a place where our athletes can get the gear in an easy way. The only caveat to that is not going to be available, or that gear that's ordered on there won't be here in time for a June camp, which I'll talk about here in a second. All right, so summer schedule. Most important days are first day, June 1st. That's going to be strength and conditioning from 8 to 10 a.m. We're also going to be working June 2nd as well, same time. Pretty much every week during the summer, we're going to work Monday through Thursday from 8 to 10 or 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. I'm sorry. Just depends on if we're doing strength and conditioning or if we're having, Each of your individual athletes should have a paper summer schedule. If for some reason they have not given that to you, or you would like another copy, either have them see me or you can reach out to me and I can send you the Word document so you're able to print that off. That is also posted on our Canvas page that our athletes should have access to as well. Another important time period is dead week. Dead week is a week in which we cannot hold any football related activity, strength and conditioning, nothing. The campus will be closed for fall sports. So this is a great time for our players to kind of relax, be a kid, not have to worry about coming in to lift or to have practice or anything like that. August 9th is our first day of the season. So at that point on August 9th, everything is mandatory. Players have to have at a minimum 14 practices to be eligible to participate in competition. So our first couple weeks are really, really important to make sure that we get our student athletes eligible and on the right track. Obviously, with school starting later, that August 9th comes up on us really, really quick. We have a full 2 weeks of practice before our first day of school. We have a preseason jamboree before the first day of school. So it's really important to make sure that our athletes have rides organized way in advance. So that way we don't have any mix-ups and athletes not becoming eligible because they don't have transportation figured out. Obviously, our coaching staff is here to help to get you in touch with older kids or parents that might be able to get your son or your athlete a ride if need be. So make sure that you communicate with us and have your athletes reach out to older players that may drive or somebody that lives near them to see how they are getting there. All right, for our game schedule, our varsity games are typically all on Fridays at 7 p.m. This year, we don't have any scheduled Saturday games at this point. On that Word document of our season, calendar outlines all games, lower level and varsity. Currently, we have 9 varsity regular season games, and then we have 5 lower level. That'll be kind of a mix between JV and kind of like a seed game, 9, 10 games. But primarily, it's going to be our sophomores and our freshmen that are participating in those games. Those will be kind of Monday, Tuesday. Those vary a little bit more, and this varies a little bit more too. So all those details are outlined on that calendar. For varsity games, last year we started parents bringing in Friday meals instead of Thursday meals. We're going to continue that. We felt like that worked really well and allowed our parents to be a part of our game day kind of atmosphere. So those meals we'll kind of organize, and I'll send out kind of separate information for that for parents to sign up to bring meals for our Friday varsity games. For JV or lower level games, players are going to be asked to bring their own pregame snacks. Most of the time, those games starts between 4 and 5 o'clock. There's just not enough time for our athletes to set up the field if it's a home game, or get on the bus if it's an away game, and eat a full meal prior to that beginning. So make sure if your athlete is participating in those lower level games, that they are bringing their own food on game days to make sure that they have enough in their body to be able to play a full game. At the high school, our students eat somewhere between 10:30 and 11:30. That's a long time to wait until after a game that might be 7 o'clock before the game's over. So players can also ride the bus home from any game. Parents just need to sign those athletes out before leaving. Typically, that's with me at varsity level. Obviously, with our JV or freshman, that'll be either Coach Hoare or Coach Kendall. So make sure you see one of those coaches before signing your player out, or trying to take your player home, I should say. For the varsity, playoffs begin October 25th. This is not necessarily a guarantee of when our season's going to end. Hopefully, we play for a very long time. So that first week is going to be October 25th. Please don't make unchangeable plans during playoff time. In the case that we go on a playoff run and continue to win, we will continue to play as long as we win. All right, so now I'm going to get into kind of what we do as a program and as a team. This is something that all of our coaching staff and all of our athletes hopefully buy into and kind of take seriously. This is something that our coaching staff promotes on a regular basis and all their interactions with our athletes. We feel that football provides us a unique opportunity to prepare young men for life outside of school, outside of football. So we feel that when we teach this game, that we're preparing them to achieve success and happiness throughout their lifetime. As a result of playing football, we feel that they will have the tools to make them successful and become great men and be active members in our community. Hopefully, they will take those lessons as a part of our family and apply them to their lives outside of football. So we're really trying to create a whole human being, not just a football player. So with that being said, our team rules, we expect our athletes to give 100% in the classroom and on the field. We want them to be present, be on time, and be positive. Also have all the things that they need, so be prepared. Now, they need to treat everybody with respect and dignity. Nobody is greater than anybody else. We expect everybody to treat everybody the same, no matter if they're a two-way starter or a person that plays on special teams or barely plays. Right? Everyone is the same, no matter who you are. We want them to represent our school and our football team in a positive manner. We don't cut anybody. We don't remove anybody because they are not as able or have the greater ability than anybody else. We just ask that our students, our athletes, follow the team rules that are outlined above in order to participate. We have not had to remove anybody for violation of these rules in the past, and hopefully that continues. We've really gotten a good thing rolling, especially this past season where guys are buying into this a lot. We're seeing it pay dividends. So our expectations kind of build off of our team rules. We want our people, our athletes, to be valuable members of our football team and our school community. We don't want people to take away from that. We don't want people to be disruptive and take away from both of those environments. So with our team rules comes our expectations. And this is kind of where, okay, you follow the rules, but in order to play, can you meet our highest expectations? Trust, work ethic, and ability. So really trusting, we ask our athlete say that, hey, do we work hard in every workout or practice? Do we stay out of trouble? Do we not fail classes? Right? Do we have to not, or do we worry about that student being eligible at the end of the semester? Those are things that, hey, if you check all those boxes, we can trust. We don't really have to worry about you doing the right thing whenever we're not looking. We know that you're going to do the things that we ask you to do. And then work ethic. How hard are you working in all atmosphere or all environments in the high school? Are you working hard in the classroom, on practice field, in the game field, in the weight room? Are you completing your assignment in class? Right? Are you running hard in practice? Are you giving everything that you have? Right? If you check that box, obviously we're going to consider you highly for a lot of playing time. And then ability, obviously, with coaching, putting our players in the best position possible, they have to have the abilities to do certain things. As a coaching staff, we really try to put our athletes in the best situation possible. And sometimes that means moving positions to give our athletes a better chance to showcase their abilities. So obviously there's some questions for specific positions, but we always try to work with our athletes, and obviously develop that ability as the season goes on. And summertime is a big opportunity for us to teach those skills that they're going to need throughout the season. So summertime attendance is really important for developing those abilities that we're going to look for on Friday, and then obviously on Monday and Tuesday nights. So with kind of talking about summer, we expect all of our athletes to be at summer camps, summer strength and conditioning, and then obviously once practices become mandatory towards becoming eligible to participate in games, we require all of our athletes to be in attendance all day, or not all day, every day. So with that, we expect communication to take place. Obviously, during the summer, we know there's going to be vacations. There's going to be out-of-town baseball tournaments, basketball tournaments, all sorts of stuff that are going to lead to absences occurring. We don't want to prevent our athletes from being a teenager, from playing other sports, from going on vacations, all that sort of stuff. So we just expect advanced communication. Obviously, there's going to be emergencies that happen. Car doesn't start, whatever. So communication may not take place in advance, but we expect that communication is going to take place. Obviously, we don't want our athletes to be absences or have repetitive absences, especially ones without communication. So advance notice is best case scenario, but some sort of notice is much appreciated. Everybody in the program has my number. It's on the bottom of every page of our calendar. I have my phone on me all the time. There's no reason why somebody can't call or text me. Obviously, most athletes are used to texting, so texting is usually preferred for them. But we want our athletes to take that responsibility on themselves and communicate with me directly. They have all of our email addresses as well, not just myself, but all of our assistant coaches. So there's no reason why they can't communicate. And then once school starts, they're going to walk by multiple coaches in a passing period. So there's no reason why even word of mouth can work once school starts. Once school starts, students must be in class for half of the school day. So half of the classes, or half the time, I should say, the school is in session, they have to be there half of that day in order to practice or play, right? And this also is going to go into, if we're off of school on a Friday and we have a lower level game scheduled on a Monday, if that athlete is not there on Thursday, they're not going to be eligible to play on Monday. They have to be present the day before school is out as well. We had people that missed a game this past season because they weren't at school on a Thursday and we didn't have school on Friday. So that's something that you have to be aware of when scheduling, doctor's visits, whatever, different appointments. Make sure that you're checking that school calendar to see, hey, is this going to put my athlete in risk for missing a potential game? And obviously, always reach out if you have any questions about that. Sometimes that can be hard to kind of remember as you're scheduling things, especially when things are hard to get into nowadays. This case scenario is you communicate in advance, or your athlete communicates in advance, so we can kind of navigate any situation. Obviously, I kind of hit on this earlier. Uniform policy. We expect that cleats, socks, tights, gloves, undershirts, any gear that is going to be seen outside of the ones provided, school colors. As long as it's not like highlighter yellow, blue, orange, pink, with the exception of our pink out game. We just expect that it's school colors, so we all look as uniform as possible, while allowing our players to kind of have some individuality as well. All right, eligibility. This is something that is of top of mind as the semester comes to end here. Our students must pass 7 credited courses in a semester before the start of the season. This applies to everyone besides our current 8th graders that are going to be freshmen next year. They must take and pass 7 courses. Most of them are aware of this at this point, at least I hope so. Something that we kind of hammer, especially as the semester changes over. Students must be enrolled in 7 credited courses throughout the course of the semester in order to be eligible that current semester as well. So a student can't take, let's say, 2 academic labs and only be enrolled in 6 credited classes. So the best way to avoid either of these situations, to where you're not either eligible the next semester, going into like winter, or being eligible for the fall semester, is don't take a lab, office help, library aid, whatever. Um, Best case scenario is take 8 credited classes, so that you can make sure that you are eligible no matter what, assuming that you would not fail your courses. If you do fail courses, we do have some protocols that are in place. Students can complete 2 summer courses from the spring semester, or going from the spring semester to the fall semester, to be credited towards their total. They can take more for graduation, but MISHA only allows 2 for eligibility. So an athlete could take and pass only 5 classes from the spring semester, and then enroll in summer school for 2 weeks at a minimum, and get those 2 classes for eligibility completed, so they're able to play in the fall. The deadline for summer school enrollment this year is actually May 17th, today. So if your athlete is in danger of not being eligible, please make sure they've completed the Google form to sign up for summer school, which is due May 17th. All right, whenever we have athletes that do struggle with grades, obviously with COVID this past season, it was really hard to get the extra tutoring that was required. But we're going to start our grade checks that they are going to turn in every Monday. So these will be printed off at the end of or beginning of the week. So our athletes have a chance to fill it out throughout the course of the week. And then students with Fs will be put in the at-risk protocol. Basically, that means that we're going to watch them during power lunch to make sure that they're attending during until their grade is raised. Each teacher at the high school has tutoring sessions available throughout the course of the week. So they will be attending the tutoring session of the teacher in the course that they are failing, or if that teacher is not available that day, one of our football coaches that have office hours will oversee them, or they will be in the room until their grade is raised. Really, there's no reason why our athletes should be failing any classes at the high school if there are plenty of opportunities for them to recover their grade and improve the grade. Many of them just do not make the right choices, so we'll make sure that they do that throughout the semester. Disciplinary actions. Players who break team rules will have consequences that can range, obviously, from conditioning, losing playing time, suspension, or removal from the team. Obviously, depending on the consequence, or depending on the action, will determine the consequence. And then the student's kind of record or track history with us will also be considered. We will not just simply remove a player from the team without meeting or several instances of meeting with the athlete and then the parent. We want to make sure that we are maintaining that vision of our team, in which we're creating productive members of society in our community, and making sure that they understand the importance of doing things the right way and making good choices. Kind of our last bit here is our relationship between the coaching staff and then our parents. 2 very important aspects of a football program. Without either, without the relationship between parent and coaches, our football program would struggle greatly. We always want to have an open line of communication with our players on the team. So we want our players to communicate any issues that they have. We want them to feel comfortable in coming to us to find out a solution for whatever issues that they do have. We want to have that positive communication, and we believe that in kind of encouraging our players to come to us and talk about things will help achieve that. If there are bigger issues that need to be discussed, like behavior problems that you have with your athlete, or that we are having with your athlete, great issues that will not be that are not being fixed for whatever reason, we will reach out to you and communicate directly with you as parents. And obviously, if you see things that are going on that you're not happy with, by all means, please include us so we can help on our end to make sure that everybody's on the same page and the athlete is receiving the most benefit from participating in football. The removal from football is the last thing that we want. So we want to work together to make sure that your athlete is receiving the support from us that we need to provide you to help that parent and coach relationship possible. So our players are everybody in our program is working towards the same goal. We want the best for our kids. We obviously want to make our kids better. We want to make them kind of as close knit as we can. We want them to feel comfortable with their teammates and then their coaches. And then obviously we want to have a successful season. So we ask that everyone, including the coaching staff, parents, players, have positive attitude. So this, relates to officiating, towards play calling, towards the playing time decisions, all of that. We want that to be a positive experience for our athletes across the board. We want the attitude to remain positive as much as possible. So to kind of protect that, we ask that nobody comes up to a coach after a game or before a game, during warm-ups, whatever, to kind of interrupt kind of what the players and the coaches are working on at that time. Obviously, post-game situations can be kind of intensified by emotions. So we want to avoid any issues that could potentially arise between anybody. We want to kind of give that buffer space for coaches, for parents, for players to kind of go decompress if this situation is stressful. Just give that buffer period for everybody to kind of to cool off. And then obviously pregame, allow coaches to kind of work with our players to get them focused on the game. Go over last minute reminders, all of that sort of stuff that is really, really important to the success of our athletes during the game. All right, so that kind of wraps up my quick little parent meeting and player meeting. If you have any questions, I'll pop my email back up here one more time. My contact information is here. Like I said, I'm going to share this out with you as well, so you have access to all this information, and it is available to you for any point or anytime that you need it. Our athletes will have access to this on Canvas as well. So if you misplace or lose track of the email, that will be available to them. All you have to do is get them to pull it up. If you have any questions about anything, please reach out. Really excited to get to work with our guys starting on June 1st. Really excited about the opportunity this season is going to give us. We have a great chance to repeat as conference champions. Excited to get some lower level games again with our increased numbers of 8th graders. So really excited to get both of those groups rolling and working with everybody as a team and as a family again here in June and a relatively normal summer. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Once again, my cell phone and email is there for you. Look forward to seeing everybody this fall and over the summer. And go Eagles.